Baseball history was made last night. It's the Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate. Danny Jansen made Major League history yesterday by becoming the first player in history to play for both teams in a single game.
How do you even do that? You know what? I'll tell you how. It's baseball magic. This guy's catching for the Toronto Blue Jays against the Boston Red Sox back in June. The game gets suspended because of weather. Because, of course, it does. I mean, mid-at-bat. There he is. He's standing there. He's got his bat in his hand. The universe is just like, nah, you know what, Danny? Not today, buddy. Not going to happen. Fast forward to last night. They finally got to finish the game. But guess what? Danny's been traded from the team that he was playing on to the team he was playing against back in June. He starts off in June as a Blue Jay, and here it is in August. He's a freaking Red Sox.
Because Danny is a catcher, he was behind the plate for the Red Sox when the game restarted. Here's a sports commentary for when another batter continued his old at-bat for Toronto, then Danny at the plate for Boston.
So Danny's at-bat being continued by another guy.
It's very confusing.
And so we pick it up as a suspended game for game number one. And now Danny Jansen, a month later, traded to the Boston Red Sox. And here he is behind the plate in a Red Sox uniform and ready to catch the rest of what was his at-bat. Tuning in for a bit of history here. Minor in the center field, down for a base hit. So Jansen becomes the first man to get a knock today for the Red Sox. I guess that's fitting with the history he made earlier today. It's his day.
Ironically, he was technically catching for his own at-bat, but the Jays put in center field Dalton Varsho to pinch hit for Jansen. He struck out, but the Jays won the game 4-1.
Wow.
This is very confusing to me. The scorecard and other items related to this first-time event are headed to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Yeah, because nothing screams Hall of Fame like a game that was half played in June, finished in August, with a guy who got bounced around like a pinball by the front office.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Subway lowered the price of footlongs to $6.99. It's part of their plan to boost sales. That also includes changing their name to Jersey Mike's. Wallet Hub named North Dakota as the hardest working state in the United States, and things residents there work hardest at, getting the heck out of North Dakota. Flavor Flav worked as an attendant on a Southwest flight. Talk about irony, an airline that's always late hired someone who wears a clock.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. He's quirky and cranky, and that makes for a lot of awkward interactions.
What a jerk.
Help Prospector learn from his mistakes. It's time for Am I a Jerk on Rock 107.
So I got a lifelong friend named Greg Zander, and growing up, he was late for everything. I mean, everything. He would be late no matter where we were going, no matter what we did. So we started to do something we called Zander Time, where we added a little extra time in for him by telling him things were happening earlier than they really were, sometimes as much as 90 minutes earlier. And it worked. All of a sudden, he started being there every time we needed him to be. It was a stroke of genius. Well, Zander moved away a little while ago, like a couple decades ago, but he was in town recently, and all of us got together for dinner, made the reservations for 7:30, told him 6 o'clock. You know, Zander time. Well, he shows up at 6. Now he's mad at me for inventing Zander time and lying to him for 40 years. Does that make me a jerk, Kate?
I'm saying no. He did it to himself. He set himself up. So what did you expect?
Yeah, it's all your fault, damn it. Let's go to the Rock lines and see what happens. Rock 107, am I a jerk?
Prospector, I don't think you're a jerk on this one.
You think this is acceptable behavior, right?
I would say so. I mean, if he's always late, I mean, how are you supposed to know?
Yeah, like one time out of a million, he pulls it off, right?
Yep, no, I hear you.
Don from my Facebook said, we would do the same thing to my sister-in-law when she finally figured out she was also PO'd too. But hey, she was on time.
Yep.
Bill from your Instagram said, I have what you call Zander time for a few people, so no, I don't think you're a jerk.
All right, I'm looking the way this looks here. Ryan on the Rock lines, am I a jerk? Rock 107.
I do not think you're a jerk. And funny enough, this is something that I have been doing with my wife for the past 5 to 6 years.
And she hasn't caught on to it yet, right?
Not at all.
We got another one on the Rock lines. Is Prospector a jerk today?
That was pretty ingenious of you guys working on Zander time. You're definitely not a jerk. You just made things happen right.
That's because I'm a smart guy, right?
Dave from my Instagram said, I'm always late and I have zero regard for time and clocks and schedules, and I have no friends because of it. I would love to have had a buddy to keep Xander time instead, so no, Prospector, you're not a jerk. You're a conscientious pal.
I'm the best friend you're ever going to have.
But also, Dave, figure that out.
Yeah.
Jenny from your Facebook said, you're not a jerk. I've done it to people for years, and it always works.
Yes! Kathy checking in on the Rock Lines. Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
I did it for years to the teenagers that used to come to my house. I had one clock in the kitchen that always had one certain time on it.
Ooh.
I always sent them home 1 hour before that they were due home. And they did it for years without catching on.
You actually went so far as to change a clock. I think that's tougher nowadays with cell phones and stuff, but that's a good move. I love it.
You are not a jerk?
That's right. I am not a jerk, according to Kathy there.
Janet from your Facebook said, you're not a jerk. He's the jerk for making everyone wait for him.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Kate, you say I'm not a jerk?
No, not a jerk.
All right, so according to you, Northeast PA, in the question today of am I a jerk for telling my best friend for years and years and years everything was happening 90 minutes earlier because he's a loser and never showed up on time, calling it Xander time until he finally figured it out recently after decades. According to you, Northeast PA, the answer is, and it is not even close, I am not a jerk.
You can still reach out and touch someone.
Oh, yay!
Just get permission first.
If you were smart, you do the same.
Send Prospector a message with Open Mic, a free download from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. And let it know what's on your mind. Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Employees saved a kitten from a car wash in Southwest Ohio last week. They found an orange and white tabby in the turbo blaster section of the wash, drenched and visibly shaken, but he's okay. They think he might have been hiding up inside someone's car, and the turbo blasters flushed him out. An employee brought him into the office and dried him off. The Humane Society took him in and named him Turbo Rinse.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Here's an important tip. When school's starting back up, you know those stop signs that stick out from the side of the school buses? Yeah, fun fact, those means you're supposed to stop. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, many kids in Northeast PA heading back to school or going back soon, right?
It's true. And with kids heading back to school, that means more kids getting on and off school buses.
And that's something that we got to be concerned with. Officials in Tampa, Florida actually had to remind drivers to stop if you see a school bus with its sign extended. That means no matter which way you're coming from.
Don't pass if you're behind the bus, and don't blow past it if you're coming from the other direction. It's a safety thing to let you know that kids are crossing.
Yeah, think about this. You need a PSA for something this basic? What's next? Hey, guys, just a heads up. Green is go. Red means stops. Try to keep that in mind, okay?
Here is the county sheriff talking about the issue.
Passing a school bus with the stop arm extended is not just a traffic violation. It puts children in danger, which is why this isn't just about following the law. It's about protecting our kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve.
Tell you what, man, that guy is passionate about this.
As is his right.
Yeah, he should be passionate. A lot of buses now have cameras on board that can scan license plates and catch people who are blowing past those signs. So make sure, you don't. I mean, if maiming a child isn't enough incentive to make you go, I don't want to do this, how about a slap on the wrist fine, huh?
The officials in Tampa announced that in the span of just 4 days this month, 2,391 drivers ignored these stop signs and passed the school buses anyway.
That's just 4 days.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
They're doing a grace period until September 12th, so those people who will only get warnings for now, but after that, it's an automatic $225 ticket.
Don't even get me started on this grace period nonsense. A grace period? Really? So what, you get to almost kill a couple kids for free until September 12th? Hey, don't worry about that, buddy. Just a warning this time. No, he'll be okay. You risk somebody's life? No, it's fine. No big deal. Look, after that, it's going to be a $225 ticket, though. And let's talk about that. That's it? $225? That's what it costs to park in the wrong spot in a lot of big cities. If you're the kind of psycho who ignores the big red stop sign on the school bus, you need more than just a slap on the wrist to stop you from doing it. I say they should take your license, make you walk everywhere for a month. Then maybe it'll get through your thick skull that when you see a school bus with the sign out, you freaking stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio. It's time for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day. On Rock 107, we uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
You have to wonder if this happened a lot more when jukeboxes were more common and we didn't have internet journalism. A man in his 40s was at a bar in Rhode Island called Deadbeats when 3 men in their 30s reportedly dragged him out and assaulted him. It was so bad that they may have broken his jaw and he may have lost consciousness. Now, it sounds like overall he's going to be okay, but the identities of the attackers and the victims haven't been released. Initial reports said the guy was roughed up over a song he played on the jukebox. There's no official word on what the song was, which is a major failure of whoever originally reported the story. For what it's worth, the owner of Deadbeats isn't snitching. They're denying that there was even a fight in the first place.
Nominee number 2.
There are some lowbrow criminals in America, and not all of them are in Florida. But this guy is on the far other end of the spectrum. A burglar broke into an apartment in Rome on Tuesday night, and he was caught because he stopped mid-theft when he spotted an irresistible book on the table about Greek mythology. The book, quote, examined the Iliad from the point of view of the gods while highlighting the interpretive power of the epic work to understand current events. Okay, anyway, the owner of the property woke up, confronted the burglar while he was just sitting there reading the book. The burglar was startled and tried to escape from the balcony where he came in, but was caught soon afterward by police. He was found with a bag of designer clothes, which he'd stolen earlier that night. It doesn't sound like he tried to snatch the book, though.
It's time to decide the Yam Bag of the Day on Rock 107. Go to rock107.com. Click Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day. Vote in our poll and tell us who you think should be the Yam Bag of the Day.
Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.